Hey, real quick. The video that you're about to see, I didn't really necessarily know when I was going to post it, but it looks like it's the one that's going up on Wednesday, December 24th. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching my videos and hope that you all have a great holiday season. I'm going to continue to post videos during the season. I've got them already kind of, in the can, just ready to go. So you should see them regularly on Wednesdays and Saturdays throughout. But I hope Santa brings you some comics, and I hope you have a great day. Here we go. Hi, I'm Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comics for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today we are looking at box 64, where we are looking at all Flash all the time. We're going to start with volume 1 and get a big chunk of volume 2 out of the way. We're going to speed through these boxes at the normal speed that we normally do it. But anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The subscriptions are really appreciated. And if there's anything inside any of these packs that you'd like to see what's in between, let me know and we'll put something together for you. But the Speed Force is waiting, so let's get into box 64. All right, here we go. So we start with this nifty little facsimile of Flash Comics #1, which is one of the good, better facsimiles because it reprints the whole thing. Pretty cool. Then we have another facsimile. This one being the Millennium Edition, which is done in the smaller size. Right there. Sort of forgot that I had this when I got the other thing. Don't mean to get duplicates, but it happens. Got a facsimile of 105. First Mirror Master. There. I don't know why people are paying over $20 for this book, but it's the reprint of Flash 2 Worlds, Flash 123. There. And we get into the originals. At some point I picked this up. This is kind of before my usual starting point. Flash 204. I may have gotten it for the Kid Flash story. Right there. Got 239 right there, from mid 70s. There, I think this one's just a big boy book because it's just old. It's just, and it's printed, and this one's like in near mint. Then issue 240 there, and 242. Green Lantern running as a backup, and Flash. Just kind of hard to imagine that there came a time when Green Lantern was not popular enough to have his own book, and he had to be a backup in Flash. Just wild to think of. Flash. $243 with the top and all the rogues there. $245 there. Got $246. I remember Neil Adams when he did that month of issues where he did parody kind of takeoffs of his own work. This is one of the covers that he recreated on some other book, or it might have been on Flash. Come to think of it, we'll see. There, 248. Master Villain. There. 249. You know, this is back when Barry Allen is married to Iris, and he's a comic book collector. Things that we don't really see much of. Personal lives. 252. Right there. Elongated Man. Elongated Man kind of created as a supporting character for Flash, and as the story goes, the editor says he didn't know that Plastic Man was available, or he would not have created Elongated Man. 253 there, I think, featuring the Molder. If I remember correctly, there was a thing about the Molder shows up in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but the thing is, the Molder is secretly Elongated Man or something like that, and so he really shouldn't have been he wasn't really a separate character. It was, I remember there being some minor controversy about that. 256, fighting the top, losing his mind, as people did a lot back in old Flash comics. 257, 252, what was that? Yeah, 257. There, Al Milgram. Doing that artwork on that. 260. There. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art on that. $261 versus the Ringer, or the Ringmaster rather. Yeah. 264. There. Turning in his uniform. I quit. He didn't really quit. Spoilers. 265. There. Kid Flash back and backups. 268. So one of the actual original issues that I had as a kid, as we can tell by the, I don't know why, if you've seen my other videos and I've mentioned it, I don't know why I put a red dot on my books, but and was fascinated by, because this of course was my first exposure to like Wildcat and the Earth 2 Green Lantern, and the notion that they were comic book characters on this Earth, even though they were real on another Earth, and just all kinds of stuff going on with that. $269. Teaming up with Kid Flash together. 272. He's not in very good condition, but versus the Clown. Terrifying, actually. $273. There. Oop, 275. The death of Iris West Allen, as far as we knew. That's her dressed up in the Batgirl suit. There. Then 276. The Flash goes wild. The combination of the death of his wife, and he had been slipped some angel dust, which you would think he would just burn off in half a sec. but you know, that's not how comic books worked back then. So he actually has he trips out right there. $277. Oop. $277. Right there. $280. Flash starts hanging out with this chick with ESP, as they called it back then. He thinks this is the guy that killed his wife. Stuff like that. We've got $280. Big boy book. Because it's not a key or anything, but just I guess because it has the reverse flash there, and maybe this is where we find out that he killed Iris. Just doing a quick flip through. It doesn't look like it gets referenced much anymore. So that's $281. $282. Oh, that's not very nice. I never liked you, and now I'm going to prove it. That's not very nice. Flash 282. 284. Flash on the run through time. Witnessing his whole life again. There. $285. We've got Don Heck, classic, definitely a classic Marvel artist, coming in and doing some of the art chores on the Flash at this point. Fighting the Trickster. $288. Going up against Dr. Alchemy. There. $289. Fighting. So they were really supposed to be the same guy, but then they separate. It's weird. Anyway, and Firestorm gets his backup, by George Perez in the back of the Flash. So you George Perez fans, be aware that you want to get some Flash 289 and forward. 292. More Mirror Master. More Firestorm. Whoop. More Mirror Master. More Firestorm. Still struggling with the autofocus. 293. So Flash and Firestorm getting together for a story. Cover by George Perez. Atomic Skull, they're going up against there. Superman villain. 293. 296. For somebody that's supposed to be his friend, the elongated man and the Flash sure do fight a lot. Firestorm backups continue. $297 versus Captain Cold. More Firestorm. Carmine Infantino, who created this version of the Flash with Broom, I believe, coming in, and is he full on forever? Yeah, I think he's going to be the artist for the rest of the game here. So that's 297. 300. One of those, he wakes up and everybody tells him, "Oh, you've just been imagining this whole time," kind of things. Right there. But he figures out, realizes that they're wrong, and he really is the Flash, etc., etc. 301. Good. I mean, say 301. More Firestorm. 304. We are now in the 80s, so we are getting video games involved. So Colonel Computron is a new villain for the Flash. .305, guest starring Garrick, Earth 2 Flash. This is another one of the earlier books that I got as a kid, and so yeah, I understand, coming to understand the Earth 1, Earth 2 stuff was really cool. 305, 308. So Firestorm has moved on to Fury of Firestorm, and now we've got Dr. Fate getting backup stories in the Flash right there, and all this stuff. I can't remember what the name was. I think it's the Immortal Dr. Fate. All of this stuff will get reprinted there. 309. Flash witnessing his own origin again. 312. Oop, not an Infantino cover. Gil Kane. I'm sure it's still Infantino inside the fighting Heatwave and Heatwave. There. Dr. Fate still backups. .313, Gorilla Grodd, and Psychon, whatever a Psychon is. I don't think Psychon was around much. That by 317, we're at full-length stories, just kind of a beauty cover here. This scene does not appear in this story. 318. Flash up against the Eradicator, not the Superman villain, but an earlier villain of the Flashes. There. 322. Flash up against a sniper of some sort. I don't know. I don't remember. And we got a couple of big boy issues. We've got 323. Flash once again going up against the Flash. Believe this would be the death of. This would be when Reverse Flash kills Barry's next wife, Fiona Webb, if I remember correctly, at their wedding. And Flash goes after him, or it may not happen until the next issue, because the next issue is when the Flash kills the Reverse Flash. So that's another big boy book right there. 324. So then we go 325. Reverse Flash, rest in peace. Of course, he's not really dead, but who is? 328. I don't think that's really him, or maybe it is. I can't remember. But like, oh no, I thought he was dead. Uh, 329. Rod. There. 332. Flash is. I think this is. I don't think they really are looking for Barry Allen. It's that they know that the Flash No, oh, well, it's because because with his fiance dead, he's spending all of his time as the Flash, something like that. You know, Barry Allen's kind of missing. Green Lantern show visiting. .333. Nobody's happy that he killed Reverse Flash. There. 336. Flash thinks he failed to save his lawyer. There. So there used to be a thing. The law is an ass. It was a ass. It was in the Comics Buyer's Guide, and there was an attorney who did articles about how legal things happened in comic books. And I just remember I was reading it at the time and how all of the horrible mistakes they were making. You know, the lawyer would never do that. The lawyer would never do this. That kind of stuff. 337. Back when the Pied Piper was still a bad guy. There. And 340. Flash goes on trial for the killing of the Reverse Flash. This will go on for a while. 340. Maybe not as long as the Spider-Man clone saga, but 341. At some point, Barry Allen's face gets messed up, and a fight, and the Gorilla City guys give him plastic surgery so he doesn't look like himself. It doesn't look like Barry Allen anymore. And for some weird reason, his lawyer decides that the best way to prove his innocence is to prove that he's actually Barry Allen, the person who would have absolutely had a reason to want to kill the Reverse Flash because he just killed his wife. But of course her plan is foiled because he doesn't look like Barry Allen anymore. So I remember it being like, why would that be a good... Why would you not tell him ahead of time? It was just, anyway. Alright, so then Scuddy seems to see that the Flash, the Reverse Flash, is still alive. There. And 350 is the final issue. The Flash is, let me see, he's found guilty, but he turns out some people know that he didn't really kill him because the Reverse Flash is still alive. And so Iris West, who was sent from the future back to the present as a baby, she and Barry head back to her future, the time that she was, originally from, to live out their lives. While they are there, they, they're already married, and they conceive the twins. The twins will be called the Tornado Twins, and they are, one of them is the parent of Impulse, and the other one is the parent of XS, or the ancestor of XS from the Legion. But Barry has to come back to the present to help the heroes in the crisis on Infinite Earths, during which time he passes away. But he doesn't really pass away. We just thought he was dead. He will come back in his own, not the rebirth, as in the thing that happens with all the heroes, but prior to that, a Flash rebirth series, and he will come back at that point. So there you go. But for now, goodbye, Flash. Alright, which Then at the end of the crisis, Wally West takes over as the Flash and becomes the Flash of a whole generation. His Flash series gets a 0 issue during the 0 hour stuff right there during Mark Waid's time. Then if we go back to actually issue 1, whoop, not quite yet. And then there is a Wizard 1/2 that came out during Jeff Johns' run right there. And then we get to the Mike Baron run. Jackson Geis on art. His speed, he's not quite as fast. He's like, you know, a little over the speed of sound kind of thing. But, and he begins to have lots of interest. I remember at the time being kind of thrown by how different he was from the Wally West who had been appearing in New Teen Titans. And you have to chalk it up to some crisis hijinks and things like that. But this was a very different Wally West. So anyway, that's number 1. Through issue 4. Continuing Baron Geis. There. Issue 5. There, this is Tina McGee, who would appear in the CBS Flash TV show alongside, although in the TV show it's Barry that she's associating with. Issue 5. Issue 8, just in time for Millennium. There. Issue 9. Got the advent of Chester Runk, aka Chunk, whom we would eventually see in the CW series. Still continuing Baron Geis. Issue 12. So Flash had run into some Soviet speedsters, and so then they decide to leave the Soviet Union, so they become capitalists and are capitalist career. And then there's a bonus book, some sort of tryout book for a new writer and artist there. Taking advantage of the whole, not that you definitely needed it, but taking advantage of the whole, it's all on one planet, on one Earth. We've got Wally going up against Earth 2, formerly of Earth 2, Vandal Savage, issue 13. Got George Perez coming back to do some covers. Got Messner Lobes on and LaRock there. Some more Perez art on the cover. LaRock, Messner Lobes. Got Wally having a rough time of it. There. We all have our down times. 21, teaming up with at the time, the Manhunter that was there. Oops, somebody's vacuuming. Hopefully that doesn't come through too well. Part of the Invasion. Issue 24. So Wally's powers are starting to grow again, but then he doesn't have a lot of control over them. There on issue 24. Issue 25. If I remember correctly, he thinks he's just going to go for a little, he says, I'll just go for a little sprint, and he winds up tearing a ditch, several hundred miles long or something like that. because of course all of the extra powers that go along with it that enable him to not, you know, do friction damage or whatever, they didn't quite. In fact, he just looks like he blew up. They weren't working either. 25, but he didn't die. He just kind of got thrown off, and he's got these spiky things, and he gets found, and he doesn't remember who he is, and he gets found by Golden Glider and Captain Cold. So he gets better, and just in time to team up with Phantom Lady, go up against Cyanide and Merlin. There, Lynn Strazewski, Grant Mime, 32. There, we're back to Messner Lobes and LaRock. There. 33. Dealing with what appears to be the Joker stealing people's babies. Whoops. The Joker stealing people's babies. Got things getting really weird right there. I have no other explanation. 36. Wally starts getting involved with this new age guru to help him control his speed and whatnot. Issue 37. Issue 44. Everybody's just really happy to see him, I guess. I don't know. His TV show. The TV show is on CBS at this point, but it will only run like one season. The obligatory fight with Grodd right there, and brought back Elongated Man. Chunk is now a friend there, helping out his pals. Things don't seem to be going so well. Rest in peace. Flash 49. Wally, in an attempt to make some money, goes to work for the IRS and track down supervillains who haven't been paying their taxes. Right there. Oh, he's got his shinier suit, and is in another race with Superman. I think the first Wally Flash Superman race there. 56, another Captain Cold story. Or maybe I think that was the point, was everybody thought it was Captain Cold, but it turns out that it's the Icicle. Right there. The former Jay Garrick's former villain. 61. There. I gotta get the priest to the church on time for somebody. And so we get into Mark Waid, right? Yeah. Just making sure I hadn't missed anything. 62, Mark Waid, Born to Run. A lot of people, when they just start reading Flash, they get the trade paperback of this. It's a good storyline to start with. So that's issue 62. That storyline ends, I guess, before 66. Got a little, I don't think this warning, this scene does not appear in this issue, but a little Flash Aquaman team up there. '67. Abracadabra is back. Futuristic villain, or villain from the future, comes back and uses magic in quotation marks as his gimmick. 72. Flash going up against, probably going up against Goldface again, or somebody that shoots gold stuff there. 73. Wally teaming up with Jay Garrick for an adventure. Right there. Sorry, my wife is chatting with the dog. He doesn't like the vacuum cleaner. You may relate. 76. Wally having a bad day, perhaps the most tragic day in his life. Right there. 77. 77. There, continuing that story. I think this was this part of, no, I don't know. Oh, this was part of the, yeah. This was part of the return of Barry Allen. So Barry Allen comes back, and he, everybody's really happy about it, and then he goes nuts, and then it turns out, no spoilers, but it's not really Barry Allen. So 77. How's that not focusing? There we go. Issue 80 here. Alan Davis doing art on the cover. And there's a couple of different versions of this. I think this is the flat. There's a foil. The red is in foil. There's a version like that out there as well. '81. Flash teaming up with Starfire and Nightwing. Mark Farmer helping out on doing that art cover. I'll jump to 88. I don't remember what was going on here. That's probably, yes, that's Alan Davis and Mark Farmer. Oh, there it is. I was like, I was only seeing the Mark Farmer. There it is, Alan Davis. So there you go. Not hating having Alan Davis helping out on these covers. Don't remember what was going on with this one though. Issue 88. '89. Got Rob Haynes doing a very non-artsy signature on that cover. 91. Right there. And then, of course, we have 92. The advent of a little fella named Bart Allen, aka Impulse. His first appearance there in Flash 92. He's from the future. He's he's Barry's grandson, and his powers are causing him to age out of control, and they got to help him and stuff like that. Let's see. 93. He was raised in a VR environment, so he doesn't really realize what's real and what's not, so he thinks that his being sent to the present is just all part of some kind of game. So he's kind of hard to manage. Mike Wieringo on the cover there. But by 100, he's under control. We're in this terminal velocity. We've got Max Mercury, classic hero from the Quality series. He was, in the Quality books, he was Quicksilver. So then DC bought those characters, but obviously Marvel has their Quicksilver, and I don't know if there's an official trademark, but it just didn't seem like a good idea. He actually shows up in the Who's Who as Quicksilver, the original Who's Who, but he gets the renamed Max Mercury in this series just to get away from that. So it's a world without a Flash. Flash 101. There, I can't remember which Oscar Jimenez is artist on that. There. Got, I guess Roger Robinson, I think, on that cover. Right there, Icky Scary Beast. 105, got some Ron Lim, Marvel artist, frequently working on Thanos, Silver Surfer type stuff, coming over, doing some DC work, Flash fighting Mirror Master. And 108, part of this Dead Heat. I think somewhere in here we get the first appearance of Savitar, who was introduced into the CW show. 109. Continuing, we've got Jessie Quick, daughter of Johnny Quick, who has been introduced into the world here. She's kind of part of his gang, part of Flash's gang. There. And Wally kind of disappears, and he is replaced with I believe John Fox, who is a play on Gardner Fox. He is the Flash of a distant future that we witnessed in probably 2 boxes from now. We'll see the Flash special that introduces him, and he has come back to the present and is taking the place of Wally in the present for a while. That's Flash 116. Well, I thought he was. Maybe I'm misremembering that. 117. Maybe that was towards the end of Fox's period, but we got Jim Chung, who would go on to do things like Young Avengers. I mean, and lots of crossovers and stuff at Marvel. Steve Lytle doing covers. 17. 124. Notice Wade is still plugging away. Mike Wieringo comes back on art. Flash is not, I guess, doesn't have his powers. Or he's got his powers, but there are other speedsters around. More time spent in California. Howard Porter of JLA doing that cover. I would recognize that style. There you go. Now you might recognize that style. There we go. 125. 128. Some demony stuff going on. There. $129. Yes, speaking of demony stuff, the Neuron, who has part of the underworld unleashed. Is that the right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, I think so. Just kind of one of DC's big time underlords. Goes around making people deals, kind of a Mephisto type. 129. 133. We got Grant Morrison has come on, doing his, and Mark Miller doing their particular flavor of storytelling. Paul Ryan on art. So this is a pretty weird time. Although these folks are being heavily edited at this point, so not too weird. They're not quite at the point yet where they're set free to do whatever they want. 134, little solo issue of J. Garrick. Right there. 137. I think this was supposed to be a takeoff of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Flash gets into a big race that is actually supposed to be the entire, and there's a point where the entire human race begins running all at the same time to give him speed. It's kind of funny. Anyway, and that is all for this box. Okay, so that was box number 64. Next time we'll do box 65. We'll continue to work our way through Flash. We will finish up volume 2. We'll get into volume 3 and 4 and pick up on 5. So it's going to be a great time, and I hope that you'll be here for that. So all you Flash fans, please be sure to subscribe so that you'll know when the next video is out. And I hope you have a great day.